BSR. This is our robot this year, Lone Peak. I'm just going to go over a quick mechanical overview of this robot and a bit of a breakdown so that folks know how it works. I'm going to start off here at the intake. This is a belted and wheel intake that deploys on drawer slides. Probably one of our favorite design aspects of this robot. This is not something I'd necessarily recommend for high durability in season. A better idea is to use something from like true linear slides that have a bit higher of a load capacity. These ones are meant for drawers, not robots, but they did well enough for our purpose here. Part of this is also this t-shirt right here that we cut and duct taped. What this is for is to expand our hopper with the intake. So we basically buy ourselves all of this extra space. This lets us store, I believe the most balls we were able to store at one time was 25. And the robot is able to serialize and index all of those pretty easily. What I would recommend on an actual competition robot instead of a t-shirt like this, because this will stretch out over time, would be a set of elastic bands that also attach somewhere on here. Give yourself like a bar or whatnot. And that will be a much more reliable solution for teams that will last longer and most likely be more durable because this is just held on by duct tape. Continuing along our ball path here, this is our hopper. This piece right here, the bottom piece that the t-shirt is taped to, is polycarbonate, and it is zip tied on to some piece of 1/2 inch hex underneath. That just provides a nice consistent rolling surface for our balls. This is completely passive, no rollers or anything in this section. The only thing that spins on our hopper is this belt right here. Neo Vortex right there. So we're driving it coaxially with the belt. And this basically just, when we put balls in it, it'll actuate it this way and push it into our shooter. Our shooter consists of 2 rollers. This kicker right here, which is orange compliant wheels, and spins at, I believe this is a 2-to-1 ratio. The belt's on the outside. Driven by this Neo Vortex down here. And then our flywheel, which is driven by these 2 Neo Vortexes right here. This is plenty of power for our shots. We never really found we had an issue with wind up or anything. 2 brushless DC motors is typically good enough to keep up with high feed rates. For actual FRC teams that are planning to do like 10 balls per second or something crazy like that, I would say it's probably a good idea to have like a brass inertia wheel on your axle somewhere. You potentially have room for it right here if you want to put it at the end of your motor on this side. Although of course, be careful, you don't want to cantilever it too far. Probably a good idea for super high volume, high balls per second shooters though, to have that on there. This was an interesting decision by us. We ended up deciding to use a 1/4 inch plate, aluminum 6061 for our hopper walls. It looks like super overkill, and it kind of is. But the nice thing about this is that it lets us build all of our major mechanisms and everything onto the side plates, and it's super rigid and reliable and solid. Finally, the drivetrain. Many of you are probably wondering, why are you guys using mecanum? We are using mecanum because it's what we had. This is the closest we can get to representing swerve, and I would say for actual teams, use tanker swerve. From an R3D perspective, we like to try to get as close to what actual teams will build as possible. This is how we did that. Swerve next year, hopefully. But until then, yeah, this is the mechanical overview of our robot.
Hello, my name is William Hancock. I'm the fabrication lead and lead driver for BSR, and I'm going to talk about our AndyMark sponsorship. Right off the bat, the AndyMark launcher in a box is one of the greatest parts any of us have ever put on a robot, period. The simplicity of its construction and just how robust it is and how efficient it is just one of the greatest things any burgeoning team could actually ask for in this sport. Things like that, the use of churro stock everywhere. Really, there's AndyMark parts scattered all over this robot, but I think one of the greatest things that any team should invest in is definitely the launcher in the box. One of the large things about launcher in a box, again, is it's how easy it is to modify. Like you can see how we've gotten these, cut out aluminum 1/4 inch plates that have made it super strong and robust so that the, transference of energy is done incredibly well. It's super easy to feed into. As you can see, we just have our hopper, and then, you know, check your diameter of your ball, and you go straight in. It's super simple and super effective.
If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat, or look on our Chief Delphi thread, which will be attached in the description of this video.